Hello, welcome back to the Bluegrass Picker channel. You came back? Okay. How's everybody doing this morning? Just jumping in. Gonna be playing guitar anyway. Might as well let people listen. Thought Harry might be coming in. We were over there in the other live. They just chit chat in the morning. Talk about what they're gonna sell. They're a good example of consistency. They just do the same thing over and over and over again. Just get a lot of people know what they're getting. Still. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in and having a cup of coffee and listening to some music. I was going to sit down and chit chat here in a second. that's a little bluegrass. That song is called Cripple Creek. I love that song. I love that like Irish sound and stuff. That's why I like the mandolin. I like when I play golf. When I play guitar, I like it to sound bluesy. But when I play this kind of stuff, I like to sound upbeat, kind of happy. Hey Tim, how's it going, brother? Mike, thanks for always joining. Harry, I saw you over in that other chat, and I was like, yeah, it's not really our group. I'll start a live. Yeah, I do the STP. I can't wait for Tim's card channel, because I mean, you guys don't know this, but that was my first. That's what I wanted to do in the first place. That was my whole reason to go on YouTube, was to start a break channel, because I used to get so excited. I still get so excited breaking open a box. No, you don't know what you're gonna get. But then over time, I watch the guys that do that, and they do it every day. I don't want to do that. I like it to be part of my business, but not like every day. Those guys don't look happy. I'm sorry. I think getting stuck inside all the time, it's not good. I'm always happier. I'm always more joyful, have better energy when I'm outside and, working. Anyway. But yeah, I still want to do I'm going to start doing breaks. That's another secret I was going to tell you, Tim. One thing I've learned over the years, because there's panini. When it comes to football, there's like 25 different paninis, and it starts the beginning of the year, it's the worst version, and it gets better and better and better. And by the end of the year, you get the best versions. But I found over the last 3 years that Panini Select is the best pound for pound. What you get for the money's worth on breaks, and what you can get out of breaks, even because what I found is you can buy like teams like, getting the Giants and the Redskins right now is you can probably buy them cheap, but you're still getting tie-dyes, one of 25 of your team, and those sell every time, no matter what team, and they just look good. And that's what I found is Panini Select look good. And I'm still selling stuff from 2000. I'm going to end up selling every card I bought in breaks from 2018, because they tend to only be the best players. They have good rookie cards. And like, you probably don't know, I mean, you're probably the only one that knows the XRCs. And it's the thing that's very unique to, I think it's the only ones that do it. And they give a redemption card for the next year. I got a Kyler Murray. I got the XR QB1 in 2018, and I got Kyler Murray, and I sold it for $600. The guy hasn't paid yet. I just did that, actually. I had it listed for $1,000. I had a $700 offer right after the DeAndre Hopkins catch. And you look up the sold comps, and sold comps on that card, PSA 9 is $600. And I'm like, this is only a PSA 9. So I'd have to go through all those hoops to get the same amount of money. So been doing soccer. I like that. It's where no one's at. That's why I say Tiger Woods cards are blowing up, because he did that stuff with his kid and stuff. I said all of his cards are exploding. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's go where the people aren't looking, because they're going to go there eventually. That's a really good idea. I've been going through my NASCAR, and because I've got a bunch of Jeff Gordon's second year rookie of the year cards. His rookie of the year is 93. I think it's worth pretty good money graded. And I got a bunch of Earnhardt cards. So I bought that thing for not much of anything. I'm just waiting for Magic to come around, and Yu-Gi-Oh! I've got so much of that crap. And I know it's just like Pokemon. Who knows what'll happen? It'll just pop, Yeah, you like Select too. Yeah, I just find that because you can buy up cheap ones, Houston Texans for $15 breaks, and you get 6 boxes, and you end up getting a couple autos and a tie-dye out of it, and you're like, well, that was worth it, I don't know. It's just because the normal cards look good. You get Contenders. I think is a Contenders optic. A Contenders normal is like, you only hunt in the on-card auto, because otherwise it just doesn't make any sense, because the regular cards look like crap. and they try to keep the same version. Well, they need to switch it up. Smart, Tim. That's a good idea. That's funny you said that. The only soccer cards I had, I was actually going through yesterday, and I have I had two cards that are worth something, not much. It's Corby Jones, 93 upper deck, I think. I can't remember. It's not really gradable. And then Tony Miola, I remember that guy. I'm just gonna put these in a lot because they're just regular cards. I'm just gonna put like a few of the good ones and then say a lot of cards and then sell it on eBay. I might put it in my booth, but I don't know. Mia Hammond this year, I was looking because Mia Hammond's worth like $10, and I got these for like $3 at a Goodwill with a case. I'll sell the case separately, sports card case in my booth. I tell you, I still buying Mahomes. Like what I do now is I buy up like right now, they just had Mosaic go through like a month and a half ago, and so it's kind of winding down. But you know how breakers go. There's sometimes I just don't break. I wait for all the breakers to break. I go in and get what they're unloading wholesale because they were chasing an autograph and they're just trying to get some of their money back and they kind of want to buy some more breaks. You know how it goes. So I sit around on eBay, look for Mahomes lot, newly listed. And man, you can snipe some good deals. And I'm still getting some good deals. And because yesterday in my booth, I sold because there was a Panini like Sage and Panini Score and some of those. I still have a lot of those rookies left, and I'm selling them for $50. I was picking them for $1. I'm still picking them up for like $5 to $10 on eBay, and selling them for $50 in my booth. So for you, I guess Tim, and being where you're at, that's probably impossible to have. It's probably too expensive to have a booth there. Man, I forgot to go back on Tim's, see your antique haul. I wanted to see that. Man, I love the vases I got. I don't realize how much I like blue, and I always get blue, and those blue vases are awesome. It's one of those I went to take it to the my booth, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm just gonna leave it here. Look at it a little bit. Sold a lot of Stafford overnight. Yep, that's the key. That's why I tell my buddy, he does stock, and I like doing stocks too, but you get yourself some deep crap that way. And very few times has cards gone to zero of a good player, unless it's like, what's his name? Ray Lewis, Sam Rice, whatever that dude's name was. Something like that. That's about as rare as it gets. But usually, you don't, unless you bought too high. But like this is just playing stock market for me. Like right now, I'm like I do. My personal collection is usually just baseball or Hall of Famers. I got Nolan Ryan autograph yesterday. I don't know if you guys do this. I know Tim does this, but I go on Facebook Marketplace and just type in autograph. I type them all and type. I type a lot of things wrong on purpose because people type things in wrong. And you get deals. And I put in autographs the other day, and someone had a Nolan Ryan autograph, and it didn't have one picture, but it was his autograph on a ball. I know his autograph because I want his best picture ever, and I collect Hall of Famers. I want that autograph. They're asking for $50, and there's only one picture, and I sent a thing. I said, "Hey, do you have the COA with it?" And they're like, "Yeah, I do." And I'm sure no one else asked. They just looked and said, they didn't see COA, so they just probably didn't went on. They just went on. And I go, "Would you take 40?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll be up at my auction house." I'm like, "Sweet." So I went up there in my auction house. And so he actually has an auction house. And so I actually gave him I'm going to give him my card. And, well, I got their number, and I'm going to talk to his assistant and tell her what I'm looking for. And if they get a bunch of stuff in, because they list on eBay, Amazon, everything else. But I looked at their, I mean, it looked like Mr. Buys a Lot. It was just a warehouse full of boxes of stuff. And they had a big table full of stuff. They were taking pictures from Marketplace and send them out. He's like, yeah, I know I probably could have got $100 for that auto, but just want it out of here. I'm like, sounds great to me. $40 for a Nolan Ryan autograph. Here's a stat, all you baseball fans. One of my favorite stats of all time for baseball. Nolan Ryan has a no hitter, and I don't think it's a perfect game, but it's a no hitter in 3 separate decades. Let that sink in. Yeah, I don't have any Stafford stuff. I've been throwing up my Tom Brady, lots of like contenders and a bunch of that crap. Look what I got. You guys will appreciate this. I'm gonna start listing this today, and not on eBay, but for my booth. All you old collectors probably remember this one. After the '89 Upper Deck with King Griffey Jr., boy, 1990, everybody was like, "Yeah, Upper Deck," and it was everywhere because it was so popular. Because they didn't know how it was going to go, so it was only like the high end places. Where I was, there was no high end places, so I bought so much of this crap. There was nothing in it, and they had a Reggie Jackson, Find the Reggie, high number series. And there's a Reggie Jackson autograph in there, supposedly. I've never seen one, but there supposedly is one in here. But I think it's, 36 packs? Why does it not say? 15 cards per pack. I think it's 36 packs anyway. And then so on the price, I got this for $25 from Lonnie. And it's funny that, well, I got a box knife from him once, but the first thing I ordered from him on his store, it was free shipping. And if you know him, it's usually plus shipping on top. And this is heavy. I'm like, all right. So $25, free shipping to my door. Same as this. This is just 92 Stadium Club. But I find in my antique booth, people want to buy. The people buying are me, and they want to grab a couple packs while they're there. I haven't bought those in so many years. It's just like nostalgia, So I'm not sure. I was thinking $225 a piece on this, and it's more just to get people in there to buy the other stuff. I mean, I sell so much stuff, but when I was a kid, I always wanted to have a baseball card store, and so now I have one. And that's what's so much fun about it. It's like I get up in the morning, I'm like, so many things to do. Let's go. I know you guys are that way. I mean, that's why we love doing it. Harry's up at 5 in the morning, going all over the place looking for all kinds of cool antiques. And how many times do we know we beat people by like 5 minutes, And I know Tim's like that. Josie's like, we're going to sleep in. He's like, not a chance. No, not happening. We're going to the flea market. And I got the other box for 92, for $25 too. That 92. There's nothing in there, but people like buying them up. And if they're not selling that fast, I'll sell them for less and less, price them down. And I just got all kinds of crap. I was in Picker's warehouse the other day. They got pretty good auctions. He sells stuff like Pirate, except there's only like 30 of us in there. So I've got some awesome deals. But he had a big lot of like Magic. He went for like $20 shipped or something. But these packs, booster packs from like 2016, 2017, $5 a piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there was a bunch of Magic cards. He never won the Cy Young Award. Yeah, I know. Bunch of dumb shit. He had a bunch of terrible teams he played on. Nice. Yeah, Truth. I hear that. Yeah. I had a dream the other day about a Mickey Mantle card that I got. It was PSA 8. It was like at a garage sale or something. We were so nonchalantly. I'm like, how much you want for that? I can't remember I don't even remember what I said. I'm like, okay, yeah. Thanks, man. Hey, what's up? How you doing, Renee? Thanks for joining. I'm just here chit-chatting. If anybody wants to jump in, the link was up there somewhere. I'll put it again. I was just bored. It's going to be a long day of listing. I got a lot of things to test. I've got right behind me, you can see I got Wii's, GameCubes. I got a Wii U. I've never tested a Wii U. I got this Wii U lot though. It's real cheap. I had a Mario Kart 8 in it. And the Guitar Hero, it's Aerosmith, and it has a guitar with it and the dongle. I don't even know. Whatever it's called. Or this is what it is. Guitar Hero Live. It's got this. I got a good bolo for the community with a video game. I just picked it up. I'll show you guys. I'm going to put a video out because it should sell pretty quick, especially if I load a little bit. It's a Wii game. It's called Rhythm Heaven Fever. It sells for like 100 and if it's listed for 130, it sells. I have this listed at 150 right now because it's like no scratches on the back, and it's some game where you like on beat play, off beat action. So you're like, there's like 50 games inside of this. Like, anyway, it has the manual and everything. The ones that didn't even have a manual were still selling for 100, over 100, I think. So it's kind of cool because, you know, everybody talks about the 2014 NCAA, but now everybody knows about that one. Well, but of course, I've never seen it before. I'll probably never see it again. That's why it's so expensive. It's kind of like the remember the Zelda Wii controller I had? I had this summer. I got it at Goodwill because it was in the. They always have it in a big bundle of stuff, and they just kind of throw it in a big plastic bag, like those mattress bags. And the Wii was in the wheel, and so you couldn't see it. And I was looking at it like, that's rare. And that thing sold for, I think, $70, and I bought the whole thing for 50. So that was a great deal. Books for us today. Hey, you can't beat that. I like reading too. Where do you list on? Hey, how's it going, Harry?
What's up? I was just going to turn up the volume.
Yeah, I was gonna turn it down a little bit here.
Turn up mine. Huh? What the heck's going on with my volume?
Have any good deals today or this weekend?
Yesterday I got something really nice. Can you hear me?
I watched
Everything
that.
good on sound?
Yeah, you're fine. For me.
For some reason my volume's stinking up the place. Come on, you son of a gun. Hold on.
I watched your video. What did you get?
Well, I got beer cans that
That's
I bought. Oh, there
you got those different kind of lamps or
I bought beer cans. I've sold a lot of stuff. I sold my broken computers. Time out. Everything's just not happening.
No worries.
There we go. Broken computers. I put a couple more on this morning. One just like that went.
Wow.
Then I put some glass on Facebook. Bam, gone. Two people.
Kidding.
I'm putting it to sell too. Of the computers, I don't have a clue. I just try to comp what I see that they go for and stick in between because I picked them out of the trash. So.
Well, I think that's one of the best things I've learned from our community is price it just underneath, get your money back. You got to trust that you're going to find better stuff eventually. You need that money back. There's no reason to hold it once you've bought it.
The glass I paid $2 a piece for. So, and I just sold the whole lot. Somebody's jumping in their car and heading up here in a few. Like I said, I picked all that. Those computers came from the trash, and every one of them have sold now. So, that was money.
Just for the parts and stuff, it makes sense.
That's what I put. Broken laptops sell. So when I see them son of a guns at yard sales this year, and they got 25 hours on them, the ones that work, I'm grabbing them every time.
Yeah.
I've seen them and never even bothered to ask, but I'm going to buy them.
Yeah, I know this year's going to be awesome. I'm hoping for garage sales. Last year, I went to a bunch of them. It was like the people that usually had good ones didn't do any. And for me up in this area, so I'm hoping next year they've held on to their stuff and they're going to unload it.
I hang out in all the older neighborhoods because I want antiques. I want collectibles. I don't want. And then when I come back down here, I pick the scraps that everybody missed on the newer stuff. So I'm doing well. I'm very tingling with excitement. Tim's still in here. I want to go to. I'm so glad. I know glass, but he knows it real good. So I'm like that little kung fu character. I want him to hold a marble in his hand, and if I match it, I got to hang out there a while until I learn all the good stuff.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is like Mr. Buys a Lot. I love watching his auctions because he's describing everything. He's giving you a tutorial of stuff that you may never see again, but if you do in the wild, it's worth something. Because there's I like that. I like the auction guys, the storage auction guys out in California because they don't know what they got, and so sometimes they're selling it really cheap. But it's nice when he knows he's giving you lessons on like memorabilia and collectibles and stuff you had no idea about, and that's what I like about Tim. He's giving you a story about it, not just what it is, but like where it's made and all that stuff. And it's even if you're not buying anything, it's just good to hang out there and learn something.
I used to watch Tim's videos before I even knew him. He was one of the first guys I watched because I seen that he was selling antiques, and I've always liked glass, but old bottles and glass insulators. But he's selling all this other stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm saying okay now because I knew that depression glass and all that was okay, but I didn't know. Now I can kind of look at it and say, all right, look, that's Viking. That's thing. Yeah. That's this. That's that. So.
Yeah, like if he lived in my area, he probably wouldn't get as much good glass. But if he was selling here, oh man, he would have a field day in our antique malls because it's not very expensive to have a booth, and people have terrible glass and are selling it for way high prices, especially compared to what Tim sells it for 30 to 50% of what he can get out of it.
They know him. So that's why I think he does. That helps him a lot that they know who he is. They trust him.
Yeah.
Is that me echoing? Is that your end or my end?
I don't know. I don't hear it. Must be mine. I'll turn my volume down.
Is anybody here echoing? I'm echo.
I don't hear it. I guess
I'm turning mine down. I heard it maybe because I was plugged in. I'm watching you here too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just turn your volume down a little bit.
Yeah, I unplugged this from that, so I think we're good.
Yeah, Brian the other day he had a Conan the Barbarian cartoon series, and he had the sketches, and it was just book of sketches. And if you had time just to sit down and list those, it wouldn't be that hard. You get you get a template, and then you just kind of change it around a little bit, I just don't. The only reason I didn't buy him was because I didn't know what like the sell through rate on something like that. He also had like GI Joe, like 1995 cartoons. The
I think
sketches,
I've
they're
seen
pretty
you
cool.
doing the GI Joe one.
Yeah,
I was glancing in and out while I'm at
yeah,
work. Um,
yeah. It was just kind of cool to see that because you're never, that's gone forever.
yeah,
A collection like that.
there's some lady with like long hair. She's probably 50ish, and she has auctions, and she's just selling stuff like this. She's got 300, 400 people in there every time. You've had to see her. She wears glasses. I don't know what her name is, but she loads the room.
I'm not sure who that is.
They're resellers too, but they don't hang out with this group of resellers.
Yeah,
They're kind of like, but you'll
that's
see
probably
a
why I
few
don't know.
people in and out that that go to both.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Well,
sure who
like,
she is, but man, she sells a lot of stuff.
well, you don't know it, but you like saved me from Crazy Lamp Lady.
Who, me?
Yeah.
How?
Well, she didn't do it on purpose. It wasn't like she was trying to, but she was, describing her channel and stuff. And it took me a while to understand. I'm like, oh, because I went one day and looked on her eBay store and she had everything in auction. And it was all these like, she had like, someone had like 40 bids and stuff. And so I realized, oh, all of her subscribers are doing these auctions. So she's telling you what sells really good. But it's so skewed because she's playing on a platform that none of us can play on. So it's like, why am I watching this kind of deal? It was still cool. And she had good knowledge, but it didn't really help me because it was, people were just buying whatever from her. And so when I found you, I'm like, oh, someone that actually knows, an actual collector and sells. So that's what got me to you, honestly.
It's sex appeal for her, just like me. I mean, look at me. I'm
Exactly.
sex appeal.
There's a reason why her husband's not doing the videos, right?
Could be, could be. My wife, if it keeps getting any worse, I got like 20 people to follow me now. So if I get to 30, I think she'll get a little jealous.
Well, honestly, it must suck because you can tell like she has to put her makeup on every time and all this stuff. Me and you were just like, what? What do we? I don't even look at myself in the mirror. Like I'm glad I don't even have to think about that crap.
I'm married with children, man. I'm Al Bundy.
I act like it.
My wife, I got somebody coming 2:00 to pick up glass, and she's going, change your shirt and stuff. I said, come on, I've worn it for 2 or 3 days. I can get a wet paper towel and just wipe it off, man.
Yeah,
going.
He's gonna come in overalls, so whatever,
So, it's just all fun.
Yeah.
On those baseball cards, I did back in '90. I bought a case of those upper decks. They're still sitting in the other half. And Score. The hot card that year was Leaf.
You still have 1990 Score football?
No, baseball. I didn't buy football back then. I didn't buy any football stuff.
I was gonna say Barry Sanders rookie in the '90 Score. I'm like, you could sell those and make some money.
No, I don't have diddly for football. I sold all my football. All I have left is baseball.
Yeah,
it might be a teeny stack of hockey. That's it.
Yeah. Did you have any '93 baseball?
It's probably that's when they went on strike after they went on strike the '94 season is when I never bought them again. I said, I'm done with you clowns. I got so mad because the Phillies were in the World Series in '93. And the next year they went a half a season. Remember, it went strike and they never had a World Series that year. So that was it.
Well, it was frustrating for me because Royals, we hadn't been good since George Brett's early years when they were playing against the Yankees. And George Brett was kind of on his outs. He was a good hitter, but he was not like he used to be. And then we were having a good season. And then we were really pushing at the end. And then the strike happened and we never – and it destroyed the Expos, Montreal. They had Pedro Martinez. Who did they have? Larry Walker, Pedro Martinez. Vladimir Guerrero.
They had a kid from Delaware, Delano DeShields.
Yes, they had a great team. Tim Raines. They had this unbelievable team. They probably would have won the World Series, and that was their last year to all to be together. The next year, a lot of them are free agents, and they never recovered after that. Montreal had to.
Marquis Grissom.
Yep.
Alou was on that team too.
Yeah, you're right.
Moisey, was that his name?
Alou.
Yeah, they had like a dream AAA team up there because they didn't have to pay them anything, so they had all that speed.
They had
like you said, bink, gone.
I mean, it was like that perfect year to win the World Series. Everything, all these young guys all became good, and they weren't paying any money, just like you're saying, and then it was just destroyed.
Yes.
I had a lot of friends that never watched another baseball game after the strike.
Well, I just get tired of all the sports guys anymore. I
understand.
Oops. Hold on, Tom. There you go. I just
that's why I collect like Hall of Fame autographs, and then I got an autograph you'd probably like, Greg Allman.
Yeah, I like Greg Allman. He was I like that band, even though I think they made my top 25. They were down low, the Allman Brothers were.
They're about 20 for me. I mean, they were underrated. They're kind of like Rush. They were so good and tight, such good actual musicians that you couldn't. Yeah, they didn't stand out.
Yeah, nobody was weak there. They were good.
But I got that in a lot from Tom Cruise. He had a paper from California right the day after Kennedy got shot. So I have a paper from that. And like 1900s papers. I have a newspaper from like 1890s, and there's a book from when after the earthquake out there in San Francisco, like from 89 or whenever that was. And then I had that Greg Allman autograph in there too. I was like, ooh, this is right up my alley. So because I love Hall of Famers and I love musicians, like musical, anything to do with that. And then like that's kind of stuff I like. Old newspapers are still in good shape. I love that.
Yeah, I was watching. I guess it's T and that Donatella. They had an auction, and I always click through. You were in there, I think.
Yep.
And they had an Apollo 14.
I saw
signed on the frame part was, I think, Alan Shepard. So I hit Alan Shepard. One sold for $100 and like 10. Theirs was at 250 or 225. It went for. I'm going, people, what are you doing? Somebody gets battling and then paying double on these sites. I'm gonna start selling some stuff, man.
You should.
I got so much I could do right now.
I actually had an idea for me and you. I had an idea, and maybe you don't think it's a good idea. I don't know. It may not be able to implement it very well. But the other day, me and Swamp Picker was on here, Glenn, and he saw I had a hat. It was a Goodyear hat, and it was it looked like the old 70s hat, like what they wore like in the middle of the field at Daytona, you know. And he asked how much for the hat, and I was like, I know I could have got $30 to $40 on eBay pretty quick. And I'm like, I don't know. And the next day I go, send me an email and we could chit chat about it. And then next time I came on live, he goes, I got something I think we can trade. I'm like, ooh. And he had a Roy Clark Springfield or Branson, Missouri, old 80s. I mean, it's like a light blue with pink Roy Clark on the back. And I know it'll sell well here if I don't want to keep it. It's too big for me, I think. And I'm like, yeah, because it won't sell that good for him unless it's just on eBay. But I can sell it locally for more money than he could get out of it. And he liked that hat. And I was like, yeah. So I was like, I think a kind of a fun channel to have like a collector's like swap,
trade.
Yeah, like
trade,
if I'm out here and I find some cone tops, and I know that you collect them, and I can get some money for them. I can actually just trade it to something to you that you have that I don't, that I like. You don't give a crap about.
I'll give you some Dale Jr. hats for the cone top right now. No,
Right.
yeah, I would do that. But if I seen,
But the only thing I thought about is it'd have to be like the people we know and trust because
you could send back and forth.
did
you have the glass I sent you? The
yeah. Hat? Thank you. That's cool.
Good. It didn't break.
No.
Yeah, that's the first. You won that. That's the first thing I that had a little contest for. I've sent
that was awesome.
A couple other things like Nurse got my dummy because I was a little silly one night and said I'll give you one. She never forgot it either. She goes, she seen two of them show up. She says, you promised me one of those. I said, you son of a gun, and I made her say it at least 3 times, and I had to send it to her because I told her I'd give her one. So
yeah, she's awesome though.
Yeah,
I'll keep that.
She is.
I'll never sell that. That's for sure.
She's on fire. This right here, I'm keeping this. This one, they're not. This one goes back to I found that at a flea market. So,
wow,
he's been with me since the 90s. So, I thought, you know what? I find that I'm going to keep one here all the time. I'm the original dummy master, not Midwest Dave or her. Or Tom. Jackass Retro has one behind him now. Because
I saw that
watching my top 25, and he got mad because I put the Eagles. I don't know if he got mad, but it was funny. He goes, "Not the Eagles," as the #1 American band of all time. Which, if you go by sales, they actually are. They're like number 2 or 3 of all time in sales and music history. I mean, it was just it's fun doing those, especially after you had a couple, glasses of milk and you get a little loose there.
I love watching that timeline. They show the graph of every artist and who was the most popular that year, and they show it moving, like how long Elvis lasted. It was crazy how long he lasted. And Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, that thing was like 10 years.
The top 100 list. That album was in there up into the 80s, I know for a fact. It still was in because it just kept people it's just a great album. It's the album of the decade.
Stryker was talking about what you were saying. You go to What the Hales and they'll have an auction every once in a while, and they'll have something that's worth like $80 go for $250. But a lot of those times, I doubt if even half of those bids are probably even real. They're just people coming on there making up stuff and never paying for it.
Well, I'll jump if I want something that bad. I'll go. It's on eBay. There's no doubt about it. So
yeah, there's been a few times where I did the same thing. I went to comp it on eBay. I'm like, I could buy 4 of those for the price I about paid for that.
I was gonna watch him last night. He came on like 11:30, but I couldn't get my nap in. At 9 o'clock, I was asleep. I was up yesterday at 5. Today I slept in till 6 this morning, but he had something at 11:30. I've called him like 4 in the morning going to work, and him and like John.
Show me
picture from your area. It's got the big antique store. They had chats on. So
yeah, I don't see John putting out a lot of videos anymore. I liked it when he showed his store and stuff like that.
I'm jealous of that store. I'd love to have something like that.
See, someone like him, I think he missed out. Like, people wanted to watch his store, see his stuff in the store and things more than they wanted to see what sold too. You know what I mean? They want to see both.
Well, he says he's selling a lot more of the other stuff instead of the antiques because
people aren't coming in, and that's probably why he's not showing it. I mean, there's a reason. I'm not like knocking him at all, but I just miss him putting out videos.
Yeah, I've got a great spot here. I know Tim's in a great spot where he's at. He's got that DC Baltimore area. I'm in between Baltimore and Philly. I've got millions of people here that want to buy my junk. So hey,
Tim should just wholesale out.
What's that word? Antiquities or something like that?
Yeah,
that's what I'm selling. Antiquities.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, too, that's what it's become fun for like me. Like one of the things, it's not about the money as much too, is like sending something to Canada, that they really want it because they have to pay that extra, like you're buying something that people really want. I'm still
Canadians, I've sold a few things up there, and I said I'm not shipping it up there because I just didn't mess with it. I stick with the States. So
do simple export. Pirate ship is awesome.
yeah, I got to figure that. I haven't really looked at that because I don't sell enough to worry about European sales or any of that.
No. Pirate ships all over the United States. So that way, like if you would have shipped me that stuff, pirate ship, it'd have been way cheaper than whatever you used.
Really?
Oh yeah, and it easily integrates with eBay. So if you do sell something on eBay, like say if you're selling like tools, you've got to do pirate ship because they're really heavy, but they're small. So it's only on how big the package is, not on the weight as much. And so I sold, I mean, I'm amazed that like I get a big discount for being top rated on eBay, and I'll go on pirate ship for just like a hat that's 8 ounces, and it's 50 cents cheaper on pirate ship still. And it's really easy. It's put it on your computer, put the bookmark on. I mean, and so like the other day I sent a $10. No, it wasn't that was global shipping. I sent a baseball card. It was a football card. I can't remember who it was. It was like a $30 card, and it cost $8.95 to ship to Canada.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, so, but if you went through global shipping and just said, "Oh, I'll just do global shipping," they would have had to pay like $30 for that card instead of $8.95.
Jeez.
So that's why people use pirate ship. But
yeah, but is pirate ship hooked into eBay? Does that come up as an option?
No, you have to be in pirate ship. But all you have to do is push integrate eBay, and it'll bring it over. It'll pop them up, and then it'll say get the rates.
Is pirate ship a app?
You can use it as an app, but I have it on my desktop here, my laptop.
I'm gonna put it on my phone. Everything I do, as far as selling, goes on this phone.
I'm sure you can.
Laptop at all.
I'm sure you can. I just haven't done it on my phone. But yeah, I mean, I love it. It's. I'm just glad that the community showed me. And what's the best thing about it is who owns pirate ship, where it's from. It's just a version of the USPS. So when you print it out, it'll say priority mail. It'll look like a USPS label.
Can it be dropped off at the post office and they send it from there? Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it'll save you a ton of money.
Coleman lanterns, the Japanese,
12 inches.
Like those things. Oh, it can only go up to a certain size?
It's cubic weight or cubic inches. So it's like 12 inches by 12 inches.
Oh, so watches and stuff like that. See, I sold something to Canada. It resold here too, but it was small. So that's where you want a pirate ship. So I'm gonna check that out.
It's easy. It's awesome. I love it. I mean, I see a lot of people that aren't using it, and like Tommy went up to Mr. Buys a lot and went up to him when he's doing his auction and stuff, and he's like, "You're not using pirate ship?" He's like, "Oh my god!" And he saved him like $50 that day because he's shipping out so much. He's shipping out. He's got 160,000 listings.
Mr. Buys a lot, sells so much stuff. I don't think he really cares. But Tommy lives and breathes. I guess they both do. So there's always something new to learn.
Yeah. Well, Tommy has. I mean, having a family and then like being full time, it's a whole different mindset. I'm sure. I'm glad it's still fun for me and not like. I don't know. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. What's Stryker's first name? I forget.
I don't know who it is. They got a great little French bulldog there. Elizabeth England.
I'm sorry, I've missed Elizabeth England. Great idea. Now get truckers to film and bring the goods. Some coins. Oh, I know. You wouldn't believe how much silver is gone in some of these auctions. I mean, it's crazy. I've seen like 2 silver coins going for $100, $125. Well, a lot of times it's been Kathy, Kathy's Corner or whatever.
Yeah, KK.
She blows up some auctions.
It's crazy.
She won't let it go. She just piles on them. Like, I've jumped out a lot of auctions that she was in because I'm like, she's never going to stop.
Midwest Dave goes, I tease her when I say her in there. I say, KK's here, forget about bidding. And she laughs.
Yep.
She's,
I'm sure her husband loves that.
Lord. Well, she's got to want me. I want it. So there's on me how to do that.
I forgot that too.
Look at it.
I forgot that too. Since I've done it for a while. When you first sign up, you have to actually push the button to say you want the simple export, which is really easy. It's just like the USPS priority mail boxes. You just got to sign up for the little thing, and then it's like boom. I just ordered a bunch of flat rate boxes. Man, I love flat rate boxes.
See, I can pick them right up at the post office. Like somebody bought cup links off of me, and I had like 2 bags of them. And they said, "Can you put this in a smaller box because it was going to cost them $15?" I said, "Sure." So I put them in that little $8.45 box, and they're going out tomorrow. So
yeah,
there was a jewelry box at a yard sale, and it had that gold watch in there. So I said, "How much for that?" And she said $10. So it's packed. This would have been a Jennifer Hayes dream. Yeah. And it had cup links and tie clips and jewelry and all these little pins and stuff. Man, I separated all this stuff out, and all of it sold. I was getting 40 and 40 and 40 for it all. That might be the last bit I had. I sold the tie clips, and these were these cup links. They get probably about 30 pairs of cup links. None of it's gold, and if it is, I missed it. So
I'm amazed at what sells on eBay. I mean, now it's gotten this place where I'm just like, I just want to see what sells on eBay.
Well, I know. I'll tell you. Some stuff sits for 3 months, but eventually sells. You just hear that cash register go off, and I know I've got another sale, so I can't beat it.
This is what I'm listing today.
Oh God, you did it. Now, what size are those? I might need those. They hide my spider veins.
I got a bustier.
Hold on, Anthony. That's not fitting you anymore. Is that why you're getting rid of it, or what?
I don't know what this crap is. Leotard. I don't know. I got it really cheap.
What is that one? Like a dress?
It's like a leotard, I think.
Oh, really?
No, that was lingerie. You're right. Closer to what you say. There's just a bunch of stuff that I don't usually deal with, and he sells it all the time. It was real cheap one day, and it's free shipping, so I just went with it.
So that all sold?
No, I'm gonna start listing it today or tomorrow just to see what it does. If it doesn't, I'll just put it in a big lot. Sells an auction.
You got to do this. Here's a guaranteed sale. You got to model it with a selfie and put it on there.
Send it to a YouTube video of me dressed in.
And here's how it fits wonderful for man or woman. So there you go.
Put a YouTube link in there, being a TikTok video.
I'm telling you what, one of these lives, I'm coming in on lingerie. I'm going to say, hey, couple of pickers, I just bought it off them, and it fits really well. Thank you. Oh, Lord. I may get a couple subs that night or lose about 10, one way or the other.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate anybody that watches. I'm just trying to give out, my bolos for the community that knows what sells, So when Harry goes to his garage sale and he sees a bunch of insulators and they're kind of overpriced, he sees over in the corner there's a bunch of stuff that we tell him sells that he can go ahead and take that price because he can sell that stuff and basically get those things for free, and that's kind of how we like to play
what does sell is I'm telling you, electronics, man.
Yeah.
And I was watching what is it? Flipping Goodies. He sells the heck out of it. he sells those TVs and stuff. I'm really considering on grabbing some of those. He don't pay for any of them. So they give them to him all the time. He gets like 50, $60 because these gamers are playing on these stinking these small TVs. Old computers, the laptops are selling now. Even broken, people are buying them. It's crazy.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. The graphics are already bad. Might as well play it on the TVs that were bad when the graphics were bad. You know,
yeah, could be. They might play the old style games. And if you see one of these, grab it every time.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that's
I had a 1979, I think it was, Magnavox little bitty TV, and I think it must have been one of the first color TVs or whatever that was that small. And I sold that in my booth for, I think it was $70, and I got that free on a. I mow for a guy that does clean outs of houses. He buys them, cleans them out, and fixes them up. And he had it just laying out in the yard one day. I'm like, "What do you want for that?" And he goes, "You can take it." I'm like, "Okay," because it looked like it didn't have anything wrong with it. It had that faux pas wood grain plastic stuff around it. You know, you remember those. But it's amazing what you could get for free from people and sell.
That's why I like those clean outs. They're we get the pre-clean out. My buddy just had one, and I was at work, so he got one of those big penny scales. I don't know how the hell he got it out of the basement. He got old car parts. What the heck? Yeah, he got a lot of cool stuff out of a real gigantic basement. There was a big cash register that he couldn't pick up. It weighed probably about 200 pounds.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it wasn't nice like the one I had. It's all that ornate and kind of gaudy. This one was like the old wood grain one, but it was big. It was a monster.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing that something that sells a lot on eBay is car parts. And there's no one in our community that really talks about it. It must be because it's kind of you don't want everybody to know what you're selling because it's probably really easy. Once you get good at it, it's probably really easy to just corner the market almost.
Any of that stuff new in the box is going to sell well because especially if it's old new stock, that's where you have to get it now, and they want it, so they're going to buy
it. Yeah. Bargain Hunters live stream. Thanks. Bargain Hunters.
Hey, thank you. Bargain Hunters. I'm not sure who the Bargain Hunters are.
I just bought 500 7-inchers, Adam. they're all 80s, some rock, a lot of hip hop and pop. I had an addiction with 45s.
That's something I probably got. I had a lot of albums that I sold cheap at a yard sale that I didn't pay anything for them, but now stuff's going crazy. Vinyl's going kind of nutty. So I have my second wave waiting to throw on down the road if I wish. I mean,
yep. I'm going to start throwing up stuff because I've got so many duplicates of good stuff that there's no reason for me to have it. But some of my stuff is so good that I don't want it to go to just anybody. You know what I mean? I want it to go to people like in our community. So that's why I was going to talk to Adam about doing like a pop-up live. I don't really like the pop-ups. I kind of like it if it's always about the same time, but sell some 7-inchers, to lot it up like a bunch of Princes together, Madonnas, kind of genres, Beatles, Led Zeppelin. I got a lot of that kind of stuff, and get it because it's such good vinyl, so clean with the. I don't want to give it to just people at my antique mall that I'll never see again. You know what I mean?
Well, Dun Adam has auctions.
Mm-hmm. That's why I want to get with him. We've talked about it before.
Oh, okay.
But most of the time I'm so busy and I haven't been able to till recently.
What's it? Two Hip Chicks. I think they've been on his auctions, if I'm not mistaken. They might have sold a few things.
Yeah, they have. But I don't, when I first started buying them, I just buy whatever. Now I'm like, I won't buy anything but good ones because what do you call it? Not scratch, but like when they're scuffed. At 45, they're worth nothing.
Right.
The good one's worth $5. So
yeah,
I got a bunch of them.
I go by the condition of the jacket.
Yep.
I think a lot of people just collect for the condition of the jacket.
Oh yeah,
I might be wrong.
oh yeah. Well, I think me and Adam talked about people sell the original artwork jacket for $1 to $2 by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Renee from Storage Wars.
Adam says he doesn't do auctions. I thought he did.
Well, they're buy it nows, which I kind of
Whatever
rather
they are,
have.
there's something there. So
I don't really like I like an auction if it's something that is everybody wants. But if it's something that only two people want, it just takes forever. I'd rather just price. If you don't like it, we'll go on to the next thing.
well, that's him flips that number up.
I like that.
First person sticks that number out, it's there. So
I like that. That's why I'd like to do it too. That way there's no confusion. The first person that puts it in is what it is. And they don't have to type out the whole word. It's just 22.
Yep. So that's a cool way of doing it too. Oh,
that was a good way. But like some of those auctions, when people are auctioning like one thing and then sitting there waiting for everybody to starting at $1 and it goes to $10 and it took 15 minutes, I'm like, come on, that's just a waste of time. I leave those auctions. Some people wonder why their auctions don't work. I'm like, because you're trying to sell one thing at a time. It's not eBay. You're selling to resellers, except for collectors, like Adam's selling to collectors they're looking for that one thing. So they want to buy one thing. But if you're selling to a bunch of resellers, they're not collecting. They might collect a little bit of it, but they're mainly wanting to sell most of it. You got to know your audience. Bargain hunter playing a big poker tournament.
Okay, so he does the buy it now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, cool. I don't know if in Delaware, I think I can do whatever I want. I don't think I have to.
It costs like $50 to have your auction license.
Is that what it is? I would just do the buy it now, like Tim did too. I'd pull up like just something like this. Here it is.
Yeah,
it's a.
Well, if you want a consistent people to come back, you got to give them deals. You can't just people aren't going to come back if they don't get somewhat of a deal.
Yeah. Well, he's got probably. Does he get like about 100 people in there or something? So they're always coming back to buy. So he's doing something.
He's got such good deals, even with the shipping. By the time it gets to me, and I can still make money on it.
Yep. Well, I think they're all collectors. What he's got and coming in there. So
yeah, pretty
more
much
than resellers. I
just wanted some show pieces to put in my booth, and then I get them here, and I'm like, shit, there's show pieces in my house. I ain't leaving. Dang it. But yeah, I like the little glass pieces now. I used to that was never my thing at all. But now that I know more about it, I understand.
Well, it could, at a drop of a day, it could come hot again. People want glass.
I'll show you this one piece. I don't know if I showed you.
Oh, that's a tall one. Who'd that come from, Tim?
Yep.
And that's a opalescent, or what is that considered?
That's what I was thinking, like a blue opalescent.
Yeah. They call that a swing glass or something. I just sold an orange one, real big.
I mean, even the bottom is just so cool.
It's nice.
I think I'm pretty sure he said this was an actual antique too. It's got a little bit, it's hard to clean that bottom, because someone's had flowers in it too long a few times, it looks like. But man, what a cool piece. Have you put that in the sun, in the window? I bet that just glows.
Yeah, I buy that stuff if I see it at yard sales.
Yeah.
I buy it all the time. I just emptied a shelf of that crackled glass. That's what I sold. It
Tim
went
sells
quick.
that quick.
So,
Tim's. I've noticed that. Oh yeah, I noticed that owls are becoming a huge deal. People are
yeah,
buying
there's
owls.
collectors of that stuff. Owls.
I mean, it's like how roosters were a couple years ago. It's
That's
funny how
why
things.
we have a small city in Delaware. It's Wilmington. It's halfway in between here and Philadelphia. And I go up there and I see a lot of glass, and it's always $1. So I grab it every time. You can't. Who cares if you lose $1?
Right.
So that's why I grab it. I like grabbing it.
Yeah, I remember when I first started watching your channel, and I was trying to buy stuff for my antique. I just didn't know much about antiques. I did a little bit, and I was buying up John Deere stuff and roosters, and that stuff was selling so fast. I didn't realize how lucky I was, though. I hit it. I hit it right because I knew because of our community.
John Deere is
And
huge.
I thought I was doing so good. I just bought some good stuff, and then I stalled out because all that stuff sold so quick.
That's what that pedal tractor, one of them was a John Deere that sold. I put it on Facebook, and those 2 tractors were gone that day. So, yeah, she does.
Remember that auction?
Silver.
Say it again.
She loves silver, just like you said, silver. Bam.
That one I did for Jen, I put up my silver. I put up 2 coins. It got to like $100. I'm like, I have to put some more silver in because I feel guilty. And then it went up to like 180. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna stop. Like, what the heck? Like, I can't believe you guys I paid like $8 a piece for these things.
They wanted it. It's called. It
was good for Jen. I didn't. I'm like, you got families. What do you guys do? It was Danica's husband, so I didn't mind that. I mean, I said,
Lady Luck Junk.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was funny when she came on there. I haven't priced any yet. I haven't sold any. I want to keep most of them. I'm gonna start. I actually got some bins I just ordered off Amazon that are cool that I'm gonna have in my booth because I'm gonna transition my booth into like old media, CDs, even tapes, whatever. Because you can find it so good and it sells.
You have 2 booths, right?
Yeah, I have an open booth in my antique one, and then I have a big glass cage that has 4 levels in the antique booth, and then I have a flea market booth inside that has 1 big opening and then 3 small glass cases.
Okay.
What I sell yesterday, I sold a Royals globe for $15. My buddy got for me. It's cool, but there's some things I just don't. People give me gifts about stuff anymore. I'm like, I just kind of don't give me gifts. I'm probably just gonna sell it because I don't want crap around here. I don't have any room for it. I sold a bunch of my home stuff. A bunch of cards sold. A $50 card that I paid $5 for.
That's nice, man. That's you probably made about $10,000 on Patrick Mahomes, haven't you?
More than that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, when I was buying that stuff, people were still buying Baker Mayfield, Mitchell Trubisky. People still didn't think Mahomes, and I knew, and I'm buying up stuff. Even then, I was still undercutting the market then, finding ways. So I wasn't just getting deals for now, but like I was getting deals for even back then, if that makes sense. And he wasn't near as hot as he is now.
That's so
I'm still selling stuff that I bought in 2018. I'm almost out, actually. I had a guy, you'll like this. I had a guy on eBay today, and one of my last good cards, it's a prism card. It's just a cool looking card. It's real shiny. It looks like a rainbow, and it's for $50, and it's like $20 over the market because I don't really want to sell it. And the guy sent me a message like, "Hey, I live in Kansas City. I live by Arrowhead. I'm a diehard fan. It should go to me." And he was just giving me this big long sob story, and like it made me think like, what man wants you to like feel sorry for him like that? Like who does that? It's so weird. Anyway, and I looked on. I always go when they contact me like that. I go look at their store, and I'm always like, I know he's selling some, so I look items for sale. He has an auction for 8 Mahomes rookie cards. And he was talking about how in his first message about how he didn't have any Mahomes stuff and he wishes he did because he's the biggest fan. I'm like, sure, buddy, you're selling 8 things and you don't have anything. Everybody's giving you the sob story about I just whiny.
I had one of those on something else that I just sold. The dude was saying, pulled that. Then one guy got mad at me when I wouldn't sell him something. He says, "Thanks a lot. Now my Christmas is ruined," or something. What do you want me to do, dude? He wanted me to take an item and drop it off downstate. I don't drive items to you. Come on now.
You want my
charity thing here. I don't know who you are. You might shank me. Who knows?
So, yeah, right on. I know what you mean.
There's
like
the 2 hip chicks. So.
People don't think about that with gas. Like when I mow and stuff, and people like think it's just my time. Like it takes money to drive to your house with all this equipment. It takes gas to do the stuff. It's not just free, just my energy.
I'm running I'm feeding my habit. They don't realize I'm an addict, and so I have to feed my habit. So I have to sell something to buy the next thing. Like I'll probably put a video out tonight on the last thing I just picked up. Something else good. I thought was a sweetheart deal. So we'll see. There's John Craze.
The best. Just talking about you. Yeah, and that's like yesterday when I went and picked up that Nolan Ryan autograph, $40. So I'm just in the game so I can pick up the stuff I collect, the Hall of Fame autographs, and then sell the stuff I don't really want. I just picked up a Magic Johnson autograph and Vita Blues autograph. And I'm going to sell all those because I don't really care that much about those.
Speaking of those, here's some nice autographs, but I don't have the paperwork with them, but they're legit. When we had to clean out one time, check this out. I don't know who this even is. This was when they won the Super Bowl. So this is Ravens. And this is number 96 on that team, which I think was a defender, if I'm not
sure.
So that
I just saw that local.
And I'm going to, and then I have this. And I said, who the hell is that? Well, that's number 52. That's Ray Lewis. Oh. And then I looked on how he signs things, and that's how he signs them. So that's from this was in a house, man. This was in a glass case that was broke.
Well, even if that was a fake auto, that's a $50 ball.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to do. I want to think of what I want for these. So
I would put them together. I would put them together because the collector is probably going to want both of those.
Yeah, I've got, but for some reason, Baltimore Raven fans aren't in this area, and that's close team. They're kind of like more closer down in the Annapolis area and all that. They're not in my Middletown area. It's either Eagles or Redskins here.
Yep.
Or of course,
it's hard to push a new team.
Now that Kansas City's winning, all the little kids are Kansas City fans, just like all the 20 and 30-year-olds are New England fans and Pittsburgh fans. It's who's winning. It's who they're going to jump on. And I don't have any loyalty to anybody. So, hey, there it is right there. Ray Lewis, baby. Hall of Fame.
When I was talking about swapping collectibles, this is who I was thinking about too, who would be interested in doing it. I'm actually going to send him a box of stuff here. I've been looking in the background.
See, there's
studying right now. Yeah, I hear you. It's been raining the last couple of days. It's coming your way a lot. We got a ton of rain. There's a ton of moisture coming your way. So I've been just sitting here listing like a madman. I had 385 listings at the end of the year on eBay, and right now I set at 800 and I think 850.
You have
Maybe
that
more.
many on?
Might be 900.
Wow. So
So,
you're dinging every day, right? You're selling a few things every day?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I sell about 3 a day at least.
Are you full time? Would you consider yourself full time reseller?
I consider myself full time compared to what some people consider themselves being full time, but no, I'm not full time.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of people that say they're full time to have a wife that's kicking ass for them. So I don't. That's not a YouTube crap, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm by myself. If I was full time, it's full time. You know, a lot of those guys have wives that they know are going to be paying their bills for them, so they don't have to, scrape by and use all their. I don't know.
I think Cernak's full time.
Yeah.
He's definitely full time, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's
Yeah.
7 days a week for him and
Absolutely.
Tommy Bernard now. So
I sell probably 2 hats a week because of those guys, and I need to list a bunch more. I've gone through a lot of mine.
man,
I'm so glad I learned about K products.
I missed these guys by 1 year.
Really?
I know twice in the last 2 years I've seen crates full of hats, and they're the exact ones that he sells. John Deere and all those stinking farmer hats, $1 a piece, and I didn't even look at them. Then I had my dad pass away, and we cleaned his house out. He had brand new trucker hats all the way across the closet, right in the dumpster. I don't know.
That hurts my soul.
Oh, wow, you live and breathe.
That's now you know, right?
And then all of
I
a sudden,
I sold a $37 John Deere hat to the Eastern Bloc in Europe. I don't know where the hell it went.
So all of a sudden, I get in these chats, and here comes Cernak Connections. He's got a tank, and all of a sudden, he's the Glad Hatter, and he's telling you he's selling hats for $50 and $60. I'm saying, woo! I just threw $1,000 worth of hats out the window in a dumpster.
Yeah.
Well,
my grandma was going to do the same thing. My grandpa prided himself. He had all kinds of those old hats, but he prided himself on never buying any. He'd always get them from like MFA and all these John Deere, Ford from buying something, but he'd get them free. And all the grandkids loved his hats. And when he passed away, my grandma was finally like, I'm throwing them away. We're like, no, don't throw them away. And I'm glad we all got them.
That's cool. So, but that's something, you live and learn. It's the price of an education. So,
Adam, throw up your link if you want for your show. He's having a big sale on that.
Full time.
Yeah.
No staff for it. So, yeah, those guys, there's plenty of successful. There's a lot of successful ones that don't even go online. So,
thanks, Jen. Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, true that. I mean,
you're breaking up a really bad, Anthony. You're.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It might be my internet. Sorry.
Because of storms. Does that mess with your internet?
I think sometimes it does.
Or it might be me. I just ate some mushrooms, and you're kind of like doing that. freaky.
What's happening? What was the one movie? Old School, when he gets shot with a tranquilizer in the neck. Oh, man, you're cool, man.
That's a funny movie. That's what I'm going to do. That's going to be next week, my top 10 80s comedies. Top 10 80s comedies. That's going to be controversial, but it's my pick. I'm looking forward to that. Thinking hard and long, and I know I'm going to forget one because I always do. I don't use the internet to go looking these up because.
Well, I did the same thing. You did those top bands. I forgot Pink Floyd. I mean, it's like my favorite band.
How do you forget Pink Floyd?
How do I forget Pink Floyd?
Somebody said Pink Floyd like when it was down to 5, I go, oh God, I had them at like 3, so I had to. Okay, they're 3.5. They weren't going to. The Beatles is always that's like the Beatles are here, and then everybody else comes underneath. To me, that is anyway. So
same for me.
Yeah, so they're the innovators, and then the rest of them came out and
The rest of them are kind of copiers, in my opinion.
What's that?
The rest of them are just kind of copying what they did.
Well, I always just think that they found that they watched what they did, and then they would have to either they had to do it too. So,
yeah, they're just awesome performers, and they were one of the first ones that did it, other than like Elvis style, you know, like.
Well, you had 3 of them. I mean, so they're all great. They all went in the hall themselves by themselves. So.
Yep.
And there's 3 of them together, and one of the best. They only gave 2 cuts to each album, so just imagine that you're George Harrison, and you're kind of like, okay,
that's nuts.
So it's just
really nuts.
It's just was they had a great band. It's just how it was.
And that's why I like Led Zeppelin, because each person was literally the best at that time. You know what they were doing. And even John Paul Jones was just the best bassist, and John Bonham. Everybody knows that him and Neil Peart are got to be. If they're not in your top 5,
they're in my top. But they're like this, you know. Mine's Neil Peart. A lot of people say John Bonham. Mine's Peart. I mean, Peart's the first one that had that ding 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 ding, and John Bonham's just I don't get it.
Bonham has a weird
too, and a lot of people say he's the best. So it's an argument between those.
He has a really weird rhythm. So if you don't connect with it, it doesn't sound very good to you. You know what I mean? I remember one time they had an interview with Neil Peart, and they were talking to him, and he said that he had a drum set up on the bottom of his pool so he could go down and practice to give it as much resistance as he could, because he was trying to get better, even though he hadn't toured in like 4 or 5 years. He's just dedicated to the drums. That's all he wanted to do, and that's why he is who he was, you know.
Yeah, I used to. First time I heard his drum solo, and drum solos are what they are, but his was enjoyable because he mixed in all them bells and all that.
He was so tight,
flying all over the place. So
yeah, I agree. Well, I probably should get off here. Me and you talk all day. I gotta get something done.
All right,
I
got to pop some glass in an hour. Somebody's coming to the house. So.
I got a Pete Rose autograph I need to put up in my booth.
One day when he's dead, they'll put him in the Hall of Fame, and then his cards will go through the roof again. So
I got 2 of them, so I'm gonna sell this one and keep the other one. I love Pete Rose. I mean, as much cheating as on baseball, they're gonna keep him out for that. Like,
I watched him. He was in Philadelphia for 5 years, so I got to go see him play.
He was still good at the end. He could still hit.
Yep, he could hit. So he's the king of hitting. It's still that's one that's held up. So we'll see.
It's gonna be hard to ever beat that one. Yeah, and being a player manager, that was pretty cool.
56 games in a row for the hit streak. That's one's a tough one. Or isn't it 56 or 51? It's one or the other. Joe DiMaggio, and then it's his. They're still there. They're old ones. So
Joe DiMaggio. That's one of the few autographs I don't have, and his are hard to get. And there was one in an auction, and Pat Dees ended up getting it for $150, but it didn't have a COA, and it didn't look. It didn't look.
I'd watch that.
It wasn't quite like his, so I just didn't want to. You play in that game. Yeah, that's when you lose money if it's not COA.
Yeah, because that could have been his kid signing that in the back room. You don't know. So.
Seriously.
You never know. So. Hey, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining. I appreciate it.
I'm going to grab some lunch, see everybody in the chats. I'll be hanging out today because I ain't going anywhere. Thanks, man.
Appreciate it, Harry.
All right, peace.
Well, thanks for everybody else that's joining. Jennifer for throwing up links. I appreciate it. Hey Steve, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. That's right. I saw you had a tour of your barn, and that's the thing. That's what I think that most retailers don't understand when they're doing videos is people want to see the process. People want to see what their storage looks like. Like over there, I have my storage, my bins, my cards for like listed on eBay listed football. This one's baseball. This is two lists on eBay. These are all Chiefs cards. I put in my booths. These are all to list on eBay, and then these I haven't decided on what I'm doing with it yet, or kind of deal. So I think everybody kind of likes the process because that's what we're doing is we're trying to refine our processes and different things to make ourselves better resellers. So I think that's part of the reason why we watch. It's not just the bolos, what sells. It's how you go about doing it. Just like Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship is so awesome as a reseller, and they're fun. It's funny that the actual app, the site, is fun. What company tries to make anything fun anymore? So it's kind of cool too. Arrgh. Keep putting them out. The best thing about putting them out is you just get better at it. And if anybody's looking to put out more content and doesn't, they're worried about editing, use that app, VLLO. It's a great app for your phone. I don't know if it's on Android, I know. So I don't know if it's, I mean, if you have an iPhone, you should just use iMovie or whatever it is. I don't have one, but VLLO is a nice, easy app that's it's amazing the technology a free app gives you. No watermark. Dean Emmon suggested it, and it works awesome. Throw up your picture in picture, and you can put in text, and there's a lot of things I didn't even mess with because I don't really need. Our community doesn't demand you to make a bunch of cool special effects to watch. Actually, you probably drive people away. That's what I learned about like doing too much transitions and stuff. And just make the transition natural with the editing. You don't need to have a transition. Some people do so many transitions. It's like, come on. We've all been there. That song I'm gonna hate forever. And it sucks is if you hear the real song, it's a good song. Because it's actually a good song. I think the worst part of the song. Friggin' nightmare. Yeah, mine is too, really. I've got it cleaned up a lot. Still, always. And then I have a couple big totes full of stuff. And then my high-end football cards, baseball cards, and basketball cards are in safes. Those are just like the $20 and less cards. I have a bunch of my cards up right now with the new shipping rate of 91 cents for being under $20 sport cards. So I can't wait to sell one for that price. So I mean, it's actually made it easier. I have a bunch of stuff. I've taken a lot of offers on stuff because I have a charge $3.55 already, so I'm still making that money that I would have. So then I'm transitioning all my stuff into being $3.55 or 91 cents, which I'm hoping I get. I change all my listings before all the other guys that sell cards, and so I'll have a big advantage there for a little bit. But. Oh, okay. Yeah, my internet must be bad. There's been storms, so I'll get off of here. Thanks for everybody for joining. Thanks, Jennifer, for modding for my little bit channel. Thanks, Harry, for joining. Like always, it makes it more fun. I'm gonna list stuff, but it's always more fun to talk to y'all. But I should be putting out a video too tonight. I've got a good what sold video, but keep looking for those treasures and keep grinding them out and putting up listings. Another thing I think people talk too much about how many listings they have, because you can have a bunch of terrible listings. But I like to have a bunch of listings so I can change them, put it on sale. They're there. I can put them on auction, try different things. So once they're up, you can always kind of play with them. So just get up some listings and never know what the heck myself. Maybe some old granny panties, which I'm going to be putting up today. Grind on, friends.